Okay, well, today it is 3 p.m. on August the 21st, and this is the Ask Me Anything. So there's some nice, fun developments that are happening this week. I think I'm going to go, I want to hold off for just a minute or two, because usually it takes, we have a decent sized audience here, but usually it takes a couple minutes for people to kind of poke in. Um, so I don't know if you guys have some basic questions that you want to ask, or if there's specific things that you guys want to know. We're happy to kind of talk through a little bit, but then I'm hoping that maybe 5 minutes from now we'll dive into um, the new dice orb replacement with the and then go into details from there. So, um, so if there are any questions, if there's anything that you want to know, now's a great time to ask that in chat. It's a Ask Me Anything, which means that literally whatever you guys feel like asking, you're allowed. Please make sure that you keep it, like polite discourse. We're all trying to get to the same moon here, fellas. Um, that's what I know for now. Um, Matt, any kind of like general statements that you want to make prior to getting into some of this stuff? Yeah, I think we have a nice process going of sort of like figuring out the next steps, getting the design work done, getting it in the hands of the devs, the testing. Like I think we're more of a well-oiled machine these days than we've been almost since the beginning of this stuff, and I'm feeling pretty good about it. So here's hoping that the pace of development is good, um, and that one of those parts is one of the things that I'm really excited for is a kind of new player experience, and we can talk some about that. Um, so Steelman is asking, is there any particular reason why there are no cards with taunt for Earth, Dragon, and maybe neutral splinters, or are they simply waiting their turn? Yeah, nope, all you, Matt. I know this isn't the next question that we have, but Matt, do you want to go into the dice and just kind of describe some of the thought process there of what to include, why to include, how many packs, airdrops, just kind of give the 411 on what we're doing and why we're doing it and the kind of steps that you created or took to get this promotional series put together. And we're doing the airdrops the same way, right? So if you're getting in early to the pack sales, then you're eligible for all of the airdrops, and then if you come in later, you just get the remaining ones, correct? Now there's a couple new abilities that are coming into this edition that should shake up the meta some. Do you wanna talk about what those three abilities are, what they do, and how you kind of see them getting used? Weak magic. So can you still have void and void armor? Okay. And that Neil's asking that that's only for magic, right? The void armor doesn't impact, like armor would just work normally versus melee and ranged attacks. So void armor is really just changing the way that magic attacks affect that monster with it, correct? Slowed. Melee. Yeah, it's kind of like a permanent cleanse. That's strong. So, what there's another piece to this that's pretty unique for this series is that there's a whole bunch of summoners that have abilities. I don't know that we want to go through each one because I do think that having some of this be suspenseful is pretty good. But do you want to talk through just generally, like what are their rarities? How do they work? Are they all benefits to your team, or some of these debuffs to the other team? What's this thing look like? And then there was a question earlier. What's the cost of these going to be? And I guess I want to also clarify what currencies can we use to purchase them? And then what about the burn rate? How is that going to work for these cards? Are they promotionals? Are they untamed levels? How much? What about when they're earning deck? Or the crystals? Is that how is that going to work? Do they get a? Okay. Did I see other questions in the? All right, let me go back up some because we did. Is there any plan for selling potions, which we are getting? Neil's asking, did we settle on the name Dice for the token, or are we going to do something different? Yeah, Dice is a little generic for that, so that's a little tricky. It might be easier to just bring it down first so that it's not always max. You could like bring it down to 3 or 4 and limit it that way, because then the UI wouldn't break. Flavia is asking, can you tease us with what you have in mind for SBT token shop and syncs? Okay, other questions in here. What edition are dice going to be if they are exactly like Untamed? Still considered promo? Blackheart is shilling his new idea for the card, the Magical Egg. It's a legendary 3 mana, 1 HP, and 1 speed, and once it's killed, it can hatch into a furious chicken or any other monster having 3 mana or less. Like that's a fairly common like Hearthstone motif of kill the thing and the thing pops up. Flavy's asking, can you imagine artists selling fan art cards to use as skins within the game, maybe incorporating the SBT token and even NFT showroom? Yeah, part of me even wants to list some of like the full card art, because when we do the images, you guys have made a couple memes mocking us of like you had the alpha where they're pretty far back, and then the beta where it's a close up, and then I forget who was making the meme, but the next one is where it's just like part of a face. But we really zoomed in on a lot of these characters, and it kind of loses the whole artistic picture of what these creatures are and these summoners are. So I have thoughts every so often of, hey, we should go get like all the full character art on NFT Showroom and sell. It wouldn't necessarily be something that you like import into the game to fight with, but you could be one of the few people that own a like a full artwork. I kind of think of it like owning some of the prints from Star Wars or something like that, where you own a limited collectible piece of art that goes with the game. Yeah, I think that'd be pretty awesome. Question: is it a good idea to increase price and lower the burn rate? Yeah, and everybody that owned cards before and had that opportunity should be stoked, right? You guys got in before any of these changes might have happened. That's good for everybody that has those cards now, and I don't know. That's a real benefit of timing. Yeah, I mean, I think we all benefit, and it's in the best interest of literally everybody if the market price of DEC is hanging around the exchange rate or like the guaranteed accepted rate by Splinterlands, and then when it's depressed, it makes for some neat opportunities to sort of pick it up and hold it. But ultimately, if you want the maximum immediate value for your gameplay and game time, then it's best if that's at least as close to that peg as possible, if not eventually above it. So, Carita Felice is asking, do you have plans for new rule sets? What about a new rule set where opportunity is forbidden, or where everyone can use blast? Yeah, the one that I'm thrilled for is Infinite Trample, where you can just keep trampling. Because I just miss those stories at the beginning where Rexy just wrecked whole teams were some of the funnest things that I watched. And I recognize it was broken, but it's okay to have things that are a little broken in individual rule sets rather than across the entire game. It just makes for these fun opportunities to devastate your opponent in new ways that hopefully you guys are finding like that perfect opportunity to bring somebody in. Coronavirus is asking, are there plans to lower the amount of output RNG in the game? All right, question. Why not add an option where I, as a player, can challenge someone else to battle and put dark energy crystals as a wager? Where some options can be selected, such as already exist for the creation of a tournament. For example, Silver League rule, wager 100 crystals, only one battle, and then someone challenges me. You can, as a game, take 5 to 10% of the total wager. Now that DEC is in CoinMarketCap, will you promo the game more and the exchange? I think it's the Tron version of it is up there now. Yeah, I've looked into getting stuff listed on CoinGecko with Hive Engine, and then I've tried it twice and I get stuck. So I'll try again in the not too distant future. But yeah, I do think it's worth getting listed and trying to keep spreading this stuff. All right, Sharky's been spicy. He's got this thing. Why did you program the game to make it impossible to win? If smart, you need to remove all this cheating the owner is doing to save money because they don't understand blockchain. Do you want to, Matt? Are we cheating people? Are we making it impossible to win if you're smart? Yeah, I'm not. He's pretty salty, so I'm not sure that that's going to be healthy. But whatever, you guys. This isn't Ask Me Anything. It's not a Ask Me Things that are friendly. So, just try to be respectful. I mean, we spent 2 years building this thing, and we work our tails off. So the cheating the owner is doing if there's something specific that you don't like, then come talk to us about it. But maybe starting with the assumption that we're trying to cheat players going to is not going to be like the most friendly response or whatever. But try to be respectful while you're asking questions. That's my request. All right, Floppy's asking, will there be other ways to earn dark energy crystals other than winning ranked matches, tournaments, or burning cards? How will the land expansion use dark energy crystals other than buying the initial land? Karita is asking, do you guys have plans to increase the rental market? I don't see too many cards being rented right now. I don't know. So I don't really want to feed the troll, but I do think it's worth talking some, because Sharky's been in the general chat a lot, and this is his general take. You guys are trying to turn Splinterlands into a Ponzi scheme, that we're evil, we're slow, inefficient, small-minded, cancerous terrorists, and we're the problem with the world. Do you want to respond, I guess, to the Ponzi scheme element? What makes a game like this, like a game rather than a Ponzi? What's the key difference there? I mean, another thing that strikes me is that you don't own anything at the end of a day in a Ponzi scheme of like, there's no tangible asset, there's no token that you own, there's no NFT, it's just, complete vapor. And here you actually own assets. You have cards that, you can transact with, fight with, trade with, battle with, play tournaments with, rent out. I mean, you just have a lot of choices that are available to you, and that. All right. Matt's asking, can you block Little League rule set to be picked up when the mana match is higher than 28? It's a bit pointless as they are the same, and Little League seems to be overrepresented. Okay. Jester Aga is asking, Aggroed and Yabapmatt, what has been your favorite developments that you've been most satisfied with so far for Splinterlands? I think one of my favorite developments is really all the way back at the very beginning, where Matt was like, what would be cool is if you could combine your cards to get to higher levels, and like that one thought, because I came from like physical printing cards. I made a card game, and you printed those individual cards. So I wasn't thinking about that, but. That one choice has really set so much of the economics of this game in place, like how so many cards get combined, and I think that's a really good one. And then I do like the battle. I mean, I just remember kind of the first time that I played, and I was like, ooh, I gotta play again. Like I like. Just having that initial thought of, oh wow, that was kind of cool. So I think seeing the battles and the matches kind of roll out. Those have been those. I mean, those are kind of early developments, but those are two of my favorites. That just that initial start to all the battling, and the very first time that we were like figuring out, oh, cards can be combined. What's that gonna do? Um, Laxmanma is asking, can we block Sharky? I try not to block really anybody. He is being a little toxic. Calling us terrorists is probably not a good shake. But I don't. I've literally blocked one person, maybe two, from our Discord in the 2 years that we've been doing this. So I tend to be pretty extremely patient, maybe to a fault. But I always think that the players that are choosing to buy these cards, you guys get to have a say, and it's our request that you have a say that's polite and constructive. And if he wants to continue being, I think toxic's a fair word here. But if he wants to keep being toxic, then yeah, eventually I'll ban him. But it's okay for players to get mad or miffed or ticked off every now and then. We all have our bad days, but hopefully his attitude will change somewhat. All right, Steve or Steve R82 is asking, possible we can have a game mode that allows any summoner but only one set of monster cards. I think it would be like you can only play from the green team, but you could use any summoner in your possession. Yep. Question, can there be tiebreaker matches instead of using tiebreaker points? I think he's talking about tournaments, the anytime tournament format. Flavi's asking, would you franchise a game to other developers to build another game on Splinterlands lore, or even the existing NFTs for Splinterlands but reinterpreted? So Dreamwriter is asking, has anyone stepped into the lead investor role with the new safe tokens? And if so, who? Have you defined what being on the board means? Lastly, what are the current plans for SMTT? I no longer see them listed on Hive Engine or Steam Engine. Sure. So for the lead investor role, I mean, I've met with a number of different VCs, and we're in different types of talks with different groups. So I'm having those conversations. Nothing is conclusive, and but there's, I don't know, there's potential for pretty neat things on the horizon. Um, uh, Defined what being on the board means. The there's board meetings. We get together and we discuss things and make plans. And when there are, real key business decisions that impact, the core documents and financial aspects of this game, they're part of board meetings. So if somebody comes onto the board, there will be more voices than there are presently. Current plans for SMTT, I no longer see them listed on Hive Engine or Steam Engine. There are restrictions regarding so SMTT is an equity token that represents essentially ownership of the Splinterlands company. And you can do that as tokens, you could do that as private placement and cap tables that live with attorneys. There's a bunch of different ways to do that. When we started out, we had this as SMTT, which is a token on the Steam Engine blockchain. But there are restrictions about how you can trade these things. They're securities. They're not. This is absolutely a security. It is registered as a security. And when you have securities, you can't. The protections of being a decentralized exchange don't extend all the way to securities. So they work for cryptos in general. They work, I could go make a DEX for buying and selling shares, things that are like properties you can do, but things that are securities you can't. So I had to at least temporarily delist SMTT until I could go figure out a better plan for it. Because it's okay to sort of like have some listings for these things, but I can't be settling them. Because the protections of the DEX don't extend to securities. So at some point, we'll probably have to go retool Steam Engine and Hive Engine to go work with securities, whereby at that point you're probably you're like putting out a listing, but you can't settle the contract just by clicking the button and sending the fees, because you guys are supposed to, like, if you are trading securities, you're supposed to have KYC and AML in place. So, having it remain permanently listed was getting abused, and so I delisted it at least temporarily. But it still represents ownership in the Splinterlands company, and we're always looking at ways of how do we raise funds, or how do we, because we just want to develop this game further. There's a lot more tools that we can produce. We're the market leader in blockchain gaming. There's some nice pieces to what we've built that could literally be extensible to national brand companies that might want to try to do something like what we've done. And when you're thinking through how can you actually get into the mainstream, there's not a lot of products that are out there that can do it, because all of them require you to own crypto first. And so we're really in a unique position there. And over time, we hope that we can use our equity in this company as a way to raise finances and raise money so that we can build new games, new components, new partnerships, get sweet intellectual property in here beyond just what we've created ourselves, and make something pretty kick-ass above and beyond what we're already doing. So hopefully that answers the question. Anything you want to add to that, Matt? Okay. Can we have tournaments similar to Neil's NASCAR tournament? Are you familiar with NASCAR, Matt? Did you see that post? Yeah, it's kind of like a stock tournament where like everybody gets the same set of cards, so that part of what makes this game fun is everybody's unique collection, and part of what makes it frustrating is that everybody has a unique collection, and sometimes that collection being better or worse is what is impacting your ability to win play. So at least having sometimes where the rules are consistent for everybody. So you have like these are the 60 cards that get to be used. These are the levels that they're all at. Everybody's at the exact same point. There's no advantage or disadvantage. Go play that. And that's kind of the NASCAR style. Let's see what the next question is. Can we ban now? I mean, Sharky, you are just being rude. No other way is cancer, so you kill your person or die because your person is evil and you're going to get us all nuked. I mean, that's kind of not helpful. That's not even constructive. So, Sharky, here's my last request. Be polite, be kind to your neighbors. You know, feel free to ask questions, but just do so without being so toxic. All right, question. Do you do advertisement for the game? I just reached out to Brave again. I want to go get another Brave campaign going. I am so anxious to go like really do a big ad spend. But until that new player tutorial experience is in there, you know, we kind of have to get it in, run another test, see if it solves some of the problems that we want. And then once we start seeing that the machine is working, then we can really crank it. Right now, we still need a better onboarding experience. So we're not quite ready to go do that. But Matt and I decided that we'd go run another test campaign with Brave. So that should be coming shortly. Clyde's asking, when are we getting a Futanari themed expansion deck? I don't know what that is, but it's probably a sassy question. Do you know what that is, Matt? It's Clyde, so I'm assuming that it's a trolling style comment, but at least I put it in there. Yeah, I bet it's naughty. Lord Winty's asking, is there any plan to implement draft tournaments in the future? Um, okay, so we have maybe one more minute here in this AMA. Um, we keep putting out some pretty big roadmaps. Do you kind of want to walk through just what are we working on, um, and what's sort of the lineup? What's on deck, and what can players expect that going forward? What are we working on? it's a big it's a big list. But they're coming out. Stuff's moving, guys. So coming out next week, you guys are going to have the dice. So hopefully you're saving some dark energy crystals. Hopefully you're stoked for these new cards that are coming out. New summoners, new monsters, new abilities. We expect it to really change up the meta some here. So I'm hoping that you guys are excited for this and that you see some cool opportunities to kind of change up your game and mess with your fellow battlers here. And anyways, I guess thanks for being here. Thanks for being part of the community. Thanks for helping us spread this game. We're making good strides, and I think we'll get that Brave ad going, and then we're really going to be looking for kind of the next big rollout of ads and a push to really start taking a shot at mainstreaming after we get some initial results with the new player tutorial. So I don't know. I think it's going to be pretty good, and I'm excited, and hopefully you guys are too. Sure. I don't know. We could go do one. I always think that kind of like 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern seems to catch the most people in our audience. So yeah, we could go try that. Yeah, I'll do 11 a.m. Eastern for the next one. So, and I guess we'll put out a post saying, or at least a notice in the Discord that that's going to happen a little earlier. So, anyways, that's Friday's AMA. Thanks for checking us out. Thanks for being part of this community. Thanks for playing games. Hopefully, you guys are enjoying your dark energy crystals that you're earning, and hopefully, you guys are stoked to go get some dice and pick them up early because, like the system works. These are airdrop cards. There's only enough for 400 max level for it out of the whole set. So please push and shove. There's not enough for everybody. And with that, I will stop the recording. Thanks so much, guys. Have a good day.